Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to another every episode of Truth Carpet. Whether you chilling on your couch, in your car, on your way to work, on your way to the gym, maybe you at the gym pumping that iron. We here in your ear for the Truth Carpet with your best friend duo. It is I, Monie, with my bestie.
Yeah, skis, and we're both matching. I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but I have on
You
green.
got on green?
Yes, green
Oh.
stripes. I just realized that.
I got my lime green. I had to be popping. I had to be bright. I had to try to, stand out, give that energy.
Okay, Beyonce.
Anywho, what you been up to? Let the people know. You know we like to be in your business.
All up in my business. I've been trying to figure out how I want to use the rest of these months that's left in the year.
Come on, because it's going to be quick. Go by.
I know. It's like time is flying away. So, I'm just trying to figure out which days I want to use as a spa day. Am I going to do any self-care days? How I want to have my gym regimen be? Just trying to figure out me for the rest of this year, So there's not many vacation days left. We only have, after the Jewish holidays pass, we have Christmas and Thanksgiving backwards. And then Christmas is in the middle of the year. I mean, in the middle of the week.
I was gonna say middle of the year, girl. It's always been at the end. I don't know what it changed.
Can you imagine? Like, I know New Zealand has a summer Christmas, but can you imagine the USA, like summer being in the Christmas being in the summer? I need a nap. I'm missing my words up right now.
What is it? Some people celebrate, I think it's Christmas in July. I don't know why that is, but there's something. Look it up. Y'all don't believe me. There's something called Christmas in July. I don't know if it started in America or started somewhere else and they started bringing it to America, but there is something called Christmas in July. I don't know what it is, but I've heard it before.
I remember when we met people in New Zealand and we were like, what do y'all do on Christmas? Like, what's the weather here? And they were like, it's hot. They go to the beach. I was like, oh, wow. Wow. And I was talking to a friend who, an old friend who's from the South. And he was like, yeah, when they were younger, they would go to the beach and do stuff. Because, it's hot down here in the South for Christmas. So it's just interesting how not even country, but parts of the world, parts of the countries, parts of wherever have their own things. But this is not what I was trying to say. I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to figure out me for the rest of this year. What do I want my me time to look like? So that's what I'm working on right now, like scheduling dates. I just talked to one of my girlfriends and I'm like, September is busy already. She was like, all right, pencil me in for the third weekend in October. I said, you got it, girl. I'll be there.
Adult friendships be like
the end. Yep. But that's where I've been. What have you been up to?
Girl, I'm with you.
I don't know, right?
Keeping secrets. You never know. But I'm not though. I'm not. Girl, I have set a new schedule for myself and I'm just trying to get used to it because when you start getting a new regimen for yourself and your body's like, we're not used to this. What are we doing? What's going on? Like whether it's you getting up early to go to the gym or like adding something into your schedule. It's just like, body, get it together. We don't have time to be lagging. So I've been trying to let my body catch up to my new routine because my weeks have been busy. But at the same time, I feel good. Even though I'm tired for good reason. I am tired for good reason. And it just makes me feel good that I'm being productive and getting things done that I need to get done. And I don't feel like I'm falling behind. So that makes me feel good, especially with me finding ways to still implement things that I really like doing. Which, by the way, I must say, finally finished the book. Time to start a new one. I finished it this morning.
Good job.
Yes. Finish my book, and I'm still doing my 5 minutes of Duolingo. So it's just like tidbits of my little joy here and there. Okay. I still got my Duolingo streak. It's like 400 something days. I don't know where we at, but I feel like I'm gonna genuinely be sad if it happens. If it breaks, I'm like, oh no. But at least I know I strived for a long time. Okay.
Over a year.
Over a year. Well over a year. Okay. So, but it feels good that I'm still finding ways to like bring myself pieces of joy, even with me being more mindful of my eating, because I've been talking about that for a while. I'm sticking to the commitment. I even made a commitment to not drink during the week. So, which, by the way, I'm surprised you didn't mention this. So, Yaya had texted me about how she was struggling with her goals. And I was like, well, you want an accountability partner?
I was waiting for you to finish so I can say something about that. But go ahead.
I'm like, we text all day, every day anyway. But she was like, well, what does that look like? And I'm like, girl.
No, don't say it like that. No.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
No, wait, pause. It's not because I don't know. It's because for us, what would that look like? Like, it's a new relationship. This you're being my new accountability partner. I had them before, but what would that look like for us? We don't live in the same town. How would that be? Is what I was saying. So change that tone. It wasn't like I don't know at all.
What does it look like? So, but I told her, like, when you feel like you about to crack, when you want to eat a cookie or a snack, and you want to unbig that back, send me a text, girl, or send me a little voice note or call me.
She did say that.
Beat me if you want to reach me. If you want to page me, that's okay. So, but I mean, so far so good, because for me, it's like not having a drink during the week. I was like, I'm trying to commit to, it's clean eating during the week and have my little special congratulatory drink, if I even want one, on the weekend, because I was getting so used to the fact that, I'm so stressed, I need a glass of wine with my bath of the day. I got to stop doing that. Mm-hmm. So breaking myself out of that habit, but it's not to the point where it was like I'm an alcoholic or nothing like that. I think I was just starting to rely so much on the fact that I've been stressed. Let me have a glass. I don't have to do that. There's other ways that I can find to unwind, which I've been doing. Coming home, playing my jazz music, lighting my candles, or just literally coming home and doing nothing, like taking time to like sit and just relax for a little bit before I jump into anything that I need to do, without feeling like I need that release with my favorite girl.
I was going to say something, because it's always when you speak, I realize, dang, I wanted to say this and that. So the accountability thing has been working thus far. It was easier for me last week because 2 days out of the week, I worked from home. So it was nice to go to the gym in the morning. So I'm able to see I can work out for only 45 minutes to an hour. I usually just like to be in the gym for longer than that. But A, is when I take that pre-workout and I just keep going like an Energizer Bunny. Or B, when I'm working out, I'm checking Instagram, I'm doing that. So if I take those distractions out, I can actually get it done within the time frame that I need. It makes it harder when I'm not working from home, because typically I don't. I just had a training, so I was able to do it from home. But it just makes it harder. Like when that alarm go off, it's like, I need that extra hour of sleep. So I need to get into the swing of things after this week's vacation time. I'm not going away. I'm going to be working in my city opposed to work. But I know I can do it this week because I'm closer to my commute. My commute is less, so I know I can do it. But when that picks up, that over an hour commute, can I actually do it? It's been nice having Monie congratulate me when I work out. And even the other day, I was like, girl, I'm at Chick-fil-A. This is a snack for the week. I'm getting a milkshake. So today, I can't have a snack. It's the weekend right now for us, so I can't have one, because I had one on, what was that, Thursday and Friday? That was my weekend. I'm only allowed to snack, like go ham snack. Not go ham, but like have a cookie, like some chips or whatever on the weekend. And then, what was it? I think 2 weekends ago, I was like, girl, I'm tired. I thought I was going to wake up early, go to the gym, and then we would record. And she was like, why didn't you tell me you wanted to wake up? I was up. I went to the gym, and I was like, dang, I should have told her. Because then it worked the next weekend. Another person knows that I want to work out too. I'm trying to sleep, and he's like, nope, get up, go to the gym. You go to the gym, and I'm like, ugh. But it felt good, after it, like, it's like, okay, it's not that bad. I just have to tell myself, and it's good to have other people to remind me of my goals. So I'm loving the accountability thing. I'm loving my cleaner eating. And making sure that I eat enough too, because I noticed not eating enough is impacting my energy. I remember I was texting Lamade, and I'm like, my energy is low, and something was like, just eat that bag of chips. Like, you ain't have a snack all day. It's just chips. You won't eat cookies, no ice cream when you get home. Just eat the chips. Or was it Cheez-Its? Something. And then drink water. And once I did that, I was fine, so I have to make sure I'm eating enough as well. Not crappy stuff, like a whole bunch of snacks. I usually like, dang, I'm hungry. Let me eat this cookie, and it's banana, and it's too. Like, I don't eat all. I just need something that's enough fulfilling and that's nurturing to my body. The second thing, last time we recorded, I was like, I don't like this wig. I gotta take it back. We were supposed to record or something, and I could not say this is the same wig. So I want to give a shout out to Tabitha Brown. All I needed was some shampoo and conditioner I didn't even use the conditioner. I just shampooed it because one day I glued it down, and then I gotta get it off. Water gets it off, so I was like, I might as well shampoo it. Girl, the curls was. If I was Kamala Harris, it was given. It was bouncy. It was healthy. Girl, I love this wig now. I didn't even pull out the new wig that I spent a lot of money on. I told my mom the price her eyebrows got so big. I was like, well, if I got bundles, it would be around that same price.
Right.
But yeah, I love my wig. I love my new regimen that I'm working on. I love the support that I have from the people who know what I'm trying to do, what my focus is. And I just need to fix my sleeping schedule or energy wise, and I'll be good.
Yep. Tell your body, hey, we got a new game plan. We got to get used to this. You gotta get up, get out, and get something. Let's go.
yeah. That's it for me.
But I'm thinking and feeling like it's coming to an end for the check-in. So can I go ahead and do the rundown, please?
Yes.
All right, period. So in this episode, season 5, episode 14, we are going to start in the icebreaker, letting loose with titling this chapter of our lives, y'all. This is season 5, so we've been doing a lot. Yeah, we've been here for a minute. Things have changed. We've grown. There's growth. So we're going to talk about the chapter of our life and how we would define it. Then heading on over into Suite 223. Hello, it's going to be me giving y'all a little poetry. So make sure y'all tune in for that because y'all know it's going to be a little special something. Then the hot topic segment, we have a friend, we have a CAU alum, a Truth Carpet original when we had it back in the dorm room, okay? Ms. Jazlyne Sabree, so excited to have her on this episode, y'all. Y'all have to tune in because when we say the hot topic is hot, you need to sit down and tune in to get these nutrients from this conversation, all right?
Yes.
So don't miss out on her talking about her life in art and her journey and beautiful story, y'all. Y'all have to make sure y'all tune in. Then heading into the dorm story segment, we, Yaya and I, are going to do a little show and tell for the art that we have made, the things that we have created, and talking about, you know, the inspiration and what it means to us. And then, of course, if you stay tuned in all the way to the end, we have announcements. So make sure you tune in all the way to the end because there's always something for everybody here on the Truth Carpet. Okay? That's it. Period. Done. Ran it down.
Hey, thank you so much.
And now we can head on over into the icebreaker.
It's time to break the ice on the mic. Mommy and I are getting into our icebreaker now, which we're going to answer this question. What's the title of this chapter of your life?
Kind of struggle with this because there's so many different things that are happening and things that I know that are going to be happening, but also wanted it to be a reflection on, you know, my past and what I've grown from and who the person I am today. So I tossed a few titles around, but the one I landed on was It's All Starting to Make Sense. It's all starting to make sense. ...
That's a good chapter title.
Because just thinking about where I was, like even like just back in college and then getting into the work field, going back to school, being in the work field, and just seeing like just different points in my life where things didn't make sense, but now I'm able to realize it now, like I understand why I had to go through that to put me where I am today. So like moving forward within my life, I can consistently move forward with knowing genuinely that everything happens for a reason. Even within that moment, if I can't figure out why it's happening, I'm going to understand it sooner or later, whether that's dealing with my relationships, my jobs, my own mental health. Everything literally is starting to align in so many different ways. Things that I thought about years ago is finally coming into fruition today. Like I'm talking 10 years ago, things that I was thinking about are coming into fruition today. And it's like nothing happens overnight. Literally nothing happens overnight. And I think the older I get, I'm getting up there. I'm trying to understand what it means to like truly understand, to like be aligned with your purpose and what you're truly meant to do, and understanding just little tidbits of things that have always happened from my childhood, and how it connects to what I'm doing now as a teacher, with how it connects to what I'm doing as a filmmaker, how it connects to my relationships with other people. It's just so many different things that I can pull from to be like, yeah, I like that. That makes sense. It's making me think about Inside Out with the memories, and how it all aligns and, yeah, and how it all aligns and connects to build the person that you are, all the experiences that you had, the emotions that you have from different situations. I'm just like, wow. Like when I really sit back and reflect, I'm like, that's how I feel. It's all starting to make sense. Like in a nutshell. I I love, and I love the feeling. I love the feeling. Even though some of the things that I've gone through were some I didn't think I was gonna get through it. Like very, very detrimental, like trauma infused. But it literally has helped mold me into the woman I am today. And I would not exchange those experiences, because I wouldn't be who I am doing what I'm doing. So on the path of greatness. It's all starting to make sense. ... Because there's more to come.
And are, and is, and will. Title, I like that one. I had two ideas. I forgot the second one, but the one that I have written down is Calm and Collected. That's the title for me. There's been just so many things going on regarding my connections with other people, my reactions to things that are happening, my choices that I make. I'm saying my with everything because I used to be a person who hated apologizing, but I also realized that's learned behavior. I grew up with not hearing my parent or not hearing other people that I looked up to apologize. Like, you hurt my feelings, but you never did this. Like, it's always like diverted back to me. So with things that's been going on, it's not been easy. It's been off the rip by most cases that I do things, but take accountability for things that happen. And try not to get so frustrated or so agitated with things. Like, I'll say, oh, I don't care about this, or I'm not bothered by this, but I realize it's those things that's happening that I don't feel cool with are visiting me in my dreams, or the cause of me not being able to sleep when I want to at night, or being uncomfortable with going to this person's engagement or going to this place that I have to go to or whatever. Like, I'm trying to escape. But I'm grown, right? I can't keep escaping from things. So I have to tap in myself and take accountability for things that I'm doing. That's the only way that I can find a calm in myself. So also with the things that I've been working on and planning things out, I'm typically very anxious, very like even when it comes to putting vacation time, I'll be harping my director, like, can you approve my time? Well, I can't say yes to this until this. Like, no, like, things will work out as it needs to work out. So I've not been doing it like I've done years before. Trying to make sure, excuse me, trying to make sure that I have time to get massages, do things that I enjoy. If things are not working for me, speak up about it. Even if somebody does something that I don't like, you know how sometimes you ponder in your head, like, just say this, or why didn't you do this, or why didn't you say that, or why didn't he say this, or why didn't she say that? Now I've gotten to the point, which is kind of bittersweet. So I've gotten to a point where I speak up, opposed to keeping it in my head, because I hated that about myself. So if I feel like where my job is contracting this person to do things for us, but we're not getting what we need, I want to speak up. I want to tell my director. I want to tell that person whatever is not going right. If I'm dating a person, or I'm talking to this guy and I ask him a question, but he doesn't answer it, or like he like goes around and does something else, I'm like, are you trying to be slick, or you didn't hear me? Like, I asked you a question, kind of thing, opposed to before I'm like, oh, well, let me keep it cute and not say anything. No, about keeping it cute. It's about me getting my needs met. You just try to play me by not responding. And I know me. I've learned. I've had 30 something years on this world to get to know that if I don't get that answer or if I don't address this now, it's gonna bother me later, and I'm gonna start ghosting you because that's still bothering me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with me too, like I have to be able to, just figure out what I need. So yes, I love my friends. I want to see them and everything, but this is a me type of weekend. So it's gonna be a little longer before I get to see you. I love you. I care about you. You want me fully, right? I need to be able to rest this weekend, and then we can pick up another time. So I did cry a little bit yesterday. It's just too much. Sometimes I get stressed out a little bit. I think I need to be holding stuff in, but it's okay. Let it go. So I've been working to be calm and collected. I be wanting to cuss at people and yell and throw tantrums, but I can't do that. And the books that have been on my mind recently are the self art I given up. I can't remember who the author is, and also Bell Hooks.
All About Love.
All About Love. Those two books have been my mind as of recent. So that's what I kind of got to this title, Calm and Collected. I ain't cool yet. It ain't calm, cool, and collected. I be getting hot, but I get hot to myself, and I kind of like reel myself in. Yeah, and take accountability for things and work on myself and keep my anxiety down.
Hey, calm and collected. It's all starting to make sense.
Yes. Book title, chapters, let's go. It's a poem.
Right? It's a book. It's a story. It's a biography.
It's a story of two lovely ladies. It's a vibe.
That survived and growing and glowing and gonna keep on going. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, book title.
Yes. Well, that's it for our icebreaker, unless you have something else to say.
I don't, but I really, really enjoyed this, and I like revisiting this because I know we've done it before. So just seeing like what the title is now, you know, what part of the book are we in? So I love reflecting and being able to do something like this. Now it's got me inspired to go write my little journal. All right, so with that, we are now going to head into Suite 2, 2, 3.
Bro, you messed up you didn't say it like you usually do. My fingers all off par. I'm like 2, 2, 3. Like, oh. I'm not voguing, y'all. Okay, sorry.
Hello there. Welcome to Suite 223. Don't be laughing at my introduction.
It's like that brown.
Hello there.
Yes.
All right, y'all. We are in here. The poet of this segment is going to be moi, and I'm going to be giving y'all a piece from my collection of poems from A Teenage Heart, my collection of poems from when I was a teenager. Untitled, but this one is poem 16. Last night I cried, except no tears fell from my face, not even a watery eye. But I know I did cry. My heart drowned in emotions that I held in for too long, breaking down to a state of depression. The ears that used to listen are now mute. Silence. So I'm talking to myself. I'm on the highway of life, going over the speed limit, internally broken, externally whole. Smoke of white lies surround me, crown me with eternal fear. Between my consciousness and my secrets, my happiness dies away. Walking towards the light, blinding like neon and burnt down to the core of my emotions, handcuffed and locked away. I would never choose to run. My mother's heart is my home. I leave, then she's alone to ache. But I endure pain too. Emotions burst like a volcano, so hot with rage. I give the finger and say, kiss my existence goodbye. My heart tries to beat while I gasp for my last breath of air to lay cold. My mind uncertain of reality. But as if a brick hits me, it hits hard. I feel it. A long cry.
Wow.
Poem.
That's a powerful poem, especially from a teenager. That's a message right there. That's way better than my poem that I did for my Tweety Bird book.
Hey, different genre. Different genre.
Oh man. Wow. That was a journey that you took my mind on right now, because I was thinking about me being a teenager, how relatable that poem is. Also me in a grown adult, and how relatable that poem is through cycles of life, of feeling like I'm enough, feeling like I'm accepted, feeling like I matter, but then feeling like I'm not enough, feeling like I'm not accepted, feeling like I do not matter. It's certain points that you shared that really stood out to me, was not wanting to be here anymore. Like thoughts of unaliving myself, and thinking, well, damn, if I do that, then I'm gonna leave my mom by herself. I'm gonna leave Monie by herself. I'm gonna leave Ronald and Raven and other friends by themselves. I can't be that selfish. So that was something that stood out, that in your poem. But then also the art of growing from Lil Ye to Yaya to Unique, like I'm saying, like the growth of life, right? The responsibilities that come as we grow, and how scary it could be, how you want to have somebody to talk with about these things that you're going through, but then you're speaking but they can't hear you, or you're speaking but no words are coming out. What support do I really have, or do I really trust the support that's out there? It's like so confusing, so diabolical to try to go through life without any support, without anybody guiding you. Or even things that you feel like you shouldn't be going through, like who can I turn to when I need support? Or like even when you do, like I remember the time when I had my first heartbreak, and an adult said to me, "Well, it's just your first heartbreak. That's not the compassion that I needed." So it kind of taught me that I can't go to you anymore. But that's just one example of all the different things that children go through. So we look forward to being adults so badly, having that mail come with our name on it, having a job, having responsibilities, and then it's like, fuck, what is it really like? What do I really need to do? How do I control this? So all those thoughts were in my head when you were sharing your poem, which was a impeccable piece, and that I enjoyed, and I appreciate you for sharing that with us today.
Thank you. Mind you, I literally have no idea what year this was written, what I was going through at that time. But just thinking back to who I was as far as like when I was in high school, and the many things that I saw, things that I learned, and the ways that I felt, I can understand why I may have written something like this. Because when I was in high school, my great grandmother passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was one of the first times I've ever had to deal with grief. I was in 10th or 11th grade when my great grandmother passed away. I was 16. So around that time, I had a lot of different emotions going on, and not really understanding how to deal with them or understanding what I was going through. I just knew that my Mima was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a very strong feeling that I wrote this around that time. Because I did do a lot of crying around that time. It was a part of me. I'm used to being like real bubbly at school, and my personality is just, bright out there, and people being able to recognize like, hey, what's going on with you? You all right? Having my teachers check in with me, that support, like, hey, I noticed or I heard, checking in with me to make sure like that I'm okay. Especially with me not ever having to deal with having lost someone so close to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure it was around that time that I wrote this piece, but I also chose this because it aligned with the title for the chapter of my life. It's all starting to make sense. Like everything that happens in our lives, they all have their purpose. And just helping us to, go through life, but understanding that it doesn't stop, and we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep pressing forward. And even if it takes a minute for the tears to fall, eventually they will come, whether it comes a little bit at a time, whether it comes like a rainstorm. I I've had moments where I finally let out a good cry, and it felt
feels so
so
good.
good.
Yes.
It feels so good, whether it was through tears of joy or even through me being sad. And I'm talking about like one of them real good ugly cries. Like you got one of them Viola Davis cries, okay? But like just letting out a real good long cry. The one that gets you hiccup when you're letting it out. But
It's
it
not
just
coming
feels
down.
so good. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's that Viola Davis cry. If you know, you know. Dang, what accent was that?
Old bottle tissue used to be used.
But yes, that it feels really good. So just reading through it again as an adult and just understanding how I was able to regulate my emotions within that piece was a lot for me to be like, damn girl, you did that. And it's something that still resonates today. So I'm like, I feel like 16-year-old me would be proud of me.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love that and I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Absolutely. And I hope y'all enjoyed it too. Let us know. Y'all know y'all can comment on the podcast, right?
Yes.
Let us know what y'all think.
Excuse me,
Does
y'all.
it resonate? Okay. Shoot. And if y'all used to write and you don't do it anymore, I highly encourage you to go back and look at things, whether it's, poetry or just anything that you did when you were a child. Connect back to it, connect back to that you and see what they have to say.
And shout out to the teens who are writing now and who are actually getting up on stage. When I was a child, I didn't know. I mean, I knew my brother was popular for his poetry, but I didn't know there was a whole world out there. Like, it's just always so fun going to events. And when you say you have a new poem, like, no shit. Or like when we went to the other poetry event and they were like, only 15. Look like they have their little things they do.
That's basically free.
Yeah, it's a whole world of poetry out there. So this past event that I went to, the featured poet was 19 years old. And I was saying, it's hard to go to events because a lot of things are 21 and up, 21 and up. He's not there yet. So shout out to the venue to hold teen nights and create spaces for the young creators to be able to create, because if that was a thing when I was growing up, I didn't know about it. So I'm saying this on this platform too, so that people can know. So wherever you are, whatever state, city you are at or in, try looking up on Eventbrite. I don't even know if Eventbrite was a thing when we were younger, but shout out to Eventbrite, Facebook, Instagram, all those platforms. Now you have outlets that can show you what's going on near you, so you can get your art out there. Whether you're first starting, some people I had the first time when I hit the stage, I was nervous as heck. I still feel like every time it's my first time because one, it's probably a new piece. Two, it's a new audience. Three, it's a new day. And may hit differently. So whatever the case be, like Monie said, whether you are a teen or whether you were a teen and an adult now, tap into that younger you and be inspired. See growth. And if you don't see the growth, be inspired to grow with the art that you have. But yeah, I enjoy this poem too, and I enjoyed that the whole episode is about art and chapters of life and growth and everything. So if it's okay, we move on to our next segment with our college friend, the OG of True Carpet, Jazlyne Sabree, the artist herself, and our next segment, which is Hot Topics. Let's move it on over.
That was beautiful. She was ready for that one.
I was. Let's go. OMG, we are in the cast segment of our podcast. The OMG is because if you've been listening for 5 seasons, or if not, the name of our podcast is Truth Carpet, y'all. And we have a Truth Carpet OG. If you know the history behind our podcast, the title of our podcast comes from our freshman year when we used to hang out with our homegirls in the suite, mine and Monie's suite. And we used to plop down on this pink, orange, green, multicolored carpet and talk all things campus life, boys, school, whatever. We have Jazlyne Sabree, one of our friends from freshman, sophomore, junior year of the illustrious Clark Ellen University with us on our podcast. I'm like all smiles right now because it's like full circle of having one of the True Carpet OGs on our podcast. True Carpet. Literally. So welcome to the
Truth Carpet.
Yes, welcome back to Truth Carpet, Jazlyne. How are you feeling?
Good to be here.
I'm super excited to get into this podcast topic with you. You have been blooming like a beautiful flower. We've been watching your growth on social media, and it's just crazy to see how you used to doodle and spit poetry and do all the things during our college matriculation, and now you're doing it in the real world. So we're super excited to have you here. But first, before we get into the tea, who is Jazlyne Sabree? Like that.
Right. Who am I? What do I like to say? So I am a interdisciplinary visual artist based in New Jersey. I like to call myself a New Jersey, Philadelphia, Atlanta artist. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a little bit of Italy in there, but a culmination of all of the educational institutions that I've been through and all of the connections and communities that I've made and been a part of. And so in addition to being a visual artist, I'm also an art professor, teaching art history and drawing right now at Rowan College of South Jersey and Rowan University. And in addition to all of these things, I am a mom and just honestly a community worker. I'm just all about service and giving back. And so all of these things that I do just come together to form who I am, I suppose.
Yes.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thanks.
I love hearing it all. I think one thing for me when people come on that's from CAU, you know them from back in the day, and you just like the growth over the years and like seeing where people land and what they're doing. It makes my heart smile. It makes me so happy. So proud of you.
Yes. And it's more of a like a Monie's smiling, like she can't stop showing her teeth, right? So because it's like you hear we sit on the Truth Carpet, we talk about things that we want to do. So I want to be an artist, I want to be a teacher, I want to be a dentist, I want to be a lawyer. Like those are all things that we've heard each other, especially from the STEP team, say that we want to do. So to see those things actually happen for people, you really went after the things that you want to do, and you're doing more, and you're doing it in different countries and wherever. You're touching other people's spirits and lives. So that is just like the smiles are worth it because it's beautiful to see it come to a full circle and fruition for people that we can say are our friends and journey through life with us. So that's really beautiful. So you are an all around artist. You know how to rhyme, but we're here to talk about your visual art. So how would you define art?
How would I define art? If I had to say, honestly, so many things can be art. I like to say that everyone's an artist. Just as humans, we have a natural proclivity to create things. So that's really how I look at it. I do find art to be one of the major sources of community and communication in our society. It's a way for many different cultures and different people and different perspectives to be seen and heard, on a world stage. And it just really is a language that to an extent we all can speak. And so that's really the way that I look at it and kind of like verbalize it, because it's a very abstract thing. Sometimes when I'm like, anything can be art, people look at me like, I don't know. But that's true. This chair, someone created it. You know what I mean? So that's really how I kind of rationalize it. Yeah.
I love when you said I love when you said art is a language. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before. But it is an expression. It is something that It doesn't matter what verbal language, audio language people speak. Anyone can see a painting. Anyone can see jewelry. If you're listening, Jazlyne does make jewelry as well. Anyone can do hair. Anyone can do makeup. These different things. It doesn't matter which language you speak. You see it and it speaks to you. It sends a message to you. So I like that you put it that way. I don't think I've heard anyone ever define it that way.
I was thinking the same thing as far as like the way it was said. It sounded so beautiful. And I'm like, but in a way that does make sense as far as like saying something and then like having it make you feel a certain way or think about a certain thing or bring back a memory or just anything. I love that. It's like tantalizing your senses, whether it's something you can see, something you can touch, something you can feel, something you can taste. Hey, because food is art too, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Culinary arts, come on. Exactly. Like it is definitely a language. I love the way you put it, girl.
Yeah.
Magnifique.
And so speaking about food, right? I cooked breakfast for this guy, and he was like, "You all fancy and stuff." And I was like, "For me, that's regular, because you know you gotta make the plate look nice or whatever." But in my head, I'm like, if I would have slopped your plate and made my plate look nice, which plate would you have chosen? You would have wanted my plate. Art is, you know, it's intriguing. It's calling for your attention. It's, you know, it's given. You gotta make it nice.
Exactly.
It's inviting. Dang, I feel like it's hard for this next question because you said everything is art, which is like furniture too, which is true. I picked my bed frame because it's so cute. It's artistic. It's gold frame. But okay, so if I take that out of my head, I wanted to ask you, why is art needed? What's the purpose of it?
Yeah, so I think, again, it really comes down to community and really just bringing people together, honestly. I think that we've always, even like back as like Homo sapiens, like in the caves, like have always created art, you know, whether it's a cave drawing to inform people about which plants are poisonous and how to hunt down a deer or whatever it is. And it's just really evolved since then to not only be able to teach, but also just to be able to express, to be able to share feelings, to be able to, you know, comment on society. I think that throughout history, when there's a war or there's some sort of like conflict between two nations, one of the first things they attack is the artwork, because it's a resource for keeping histories and cultures and, you know, and bringing cultural pride and joy to different communities. And so once you get rid of those visuals, then it's difficult for a nation to rebuild. And so a lot of the times they'll attack the museums and the monuments first in order to really wipe out a people. And I think that, you know, I use this very dark way of expressing this because it really, like, when you think of it that way, it really highlights how important art is, not only to us as individuals, but even on a global scale. It's just so valuable for community building and for just, you know, history keeping and, you know, just keeping archives of like the human experience. So yeah, it's like extremely important. It's probably one of the most important things that we have as humans.
Absolutely. Hello, I can tell she's the professor. Come on, teach me, girl. Okay, learning while I'm sitting.
Teach me how to art.
Right?
Yes. I have so many things flashing in my head. So she spoke, you know, the history and everything like that. And while you're saying it's dark, it's important for us to know that too, and to treasure art so much more. Thinking about like history classes, the pictures that we saw and how it spoke more volume than the words. Even art, Monie's into photography. Jazlyne's too. I think Jazlyne touches every art form, right? So, so you know, pictures, like even learning, since we're talking about history, learning within maybe like last 2 or 3 years that the pictures that were taken of Martin Luther King and everyone back then, they were changed to the B&W opposed to color to make us feel like it was so long ago when it wasn't that long ago. It's just the way that they control the narrative of our story. So yes, like I said, yes, what you're saying is dark, but it's important for us to know those things that happened back in the day and the history of where art comes from as well. And then going back to the language thing too, Jazlyne also sings. So Jazlyne plays the guitar. so many things, all those things send a message too. Monie and I just went to a poetry event, open mic, and this lady got up there and she sang a song in French. It was too fast for Monie to pick up, but everyone was in the crowd. Yeah. You didn't understand what she was saying. I'm like, yo, she could be saying, I hate all y'all mofos in this room. I'm gonna slap and slash all y'all in the face. But we like, yeah. Because, like you see people in the concerts, they can't understand what Beyonce's saying or anybody, but they love it still speaks to your soul in some type of way. The energy, all of that. Beyonce, shout out to Beyonce. And then you go to the museums and you see people enjoying it. I might say, look at that blob. It's just a orange blob on the wall, but people get some type of message or whatever it is. We all take different things from it. So yeah, I like what you're teaching us. I like what you're giving us. So speaking of teaching, you once had a full-time job and you left that to pursue art, which is an incredible leap of faith, right? So what was your thinking in the process of doing so?
Do you really want to know?
Face.
She about to take us on a ride?
Take us on a roller coaster.
No. Yes, no. So I love teaching. I've always loved teaching. It's probably like number one top things that I've ever done as a job. However, growing up, I always knew that I was an artist. Like, like you said, all of the things, performing artist, this and that. But at my core, I was a visual artist. I need to make things with my hands. I need to lock myself away and just create things. Everyone always gets really surprised when I tell them that like I'm an introvert and all of these things. And it's like, I've learned how to be extroverted. So now I say I'm an introverted extrovert. But at my core, I just need to be less nestled away, expressing myself, reflecting on life, and learning all of the things like the nerdy person that I am, and then distributing that to the world. And, in a sense, as a teacher, I was doing that to an extent. But while I was doing that, and particularly once I started teaching high school, I just realized that I didn't really have all of the time and space that I needed in order to really cultivate my art practice. I was doing it, I was showing already, everything like that. But I just didn't have the energy and the space and the time to really go in depth with it. In addition to that, I always, for the most part, have taught in Black and Brown communities. And so, and I know for myself growing up through art classes and things, there was really no, I had no examples for how to be an artist as a Black woman. No one ever told me, you can be an artist, you can do this as a Black woman, probably until about junior year of Clark-Atlanta University. And so I knew that my students, in order for me to really show them that they could do it, I had to do it for myself. And so I think once the COVID pandemic hit and everything was shifting and we were going to teaching online and everything, and I'm trying to figure out like how to teach art in a virtual like space and all of these things. It just started to click with me, like, what am I doing? Like, I don't need to be doing this. Like, this is not this. It just really like kind of showed all of the cracks in the system. And it's like, hey, like for one, this is not the best way to be teaching. Like this now I see like the best way is practicum. Like this is not the way. And then for two, it's like life is shifting. Like it's so short. Like look what's happening in the world around us all over. Like I need to be doing what I love, if nothing else. And so, and then, just in addition to even my own health issues and things, I'm just like, life is too short to be stressed out, going somewhere, doing a stressful job, which I loved. Again, I love teaching. I love the students, but admin and all of that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
the therapist of the building and all of that, and no one's helping. And so it was really just like all of that, and me really coming to the realization that I need to do what I love and I need to really follow my number one passion. And then that, of course, that will open up other doors down the line for me to continue teaching, but in a way that really serves the art instead of the art serving the teaching. And so that's kind of where I went. I told myself, okay, I'm going to go back for my MFA and I'm just going to quit my job. And so that's what I did. And I quit in June and I started my MFA program in August. So, and it's really just kind of, compounded on itself from there.
Wonderful. I honestly commend you for recognizing like, hey, this isn't working for me. I'm not growing in this space. I need something different. But then also on top of that, with the piece of representation, I tell my students all the time, representation is important. Representation matters. Doesn't matter from the guy that you see bagging your groceries at the grocery store, ringing you up, to the artists that you listen to, the actors that you see on TV, the people that you like to scroll and watch on TikTok. Representation is important to help you realize the thing that you are capable of doing because you see someone that looks like you doing it too. So that I love that you are doing that, because I've seen myself in the same boat saying, I'm teaching my students these things and telling them that they can do these things, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So like getting back into like screenwriting for myself and like directing and film writing, like I should be showing them what I'm doing currently. Forget what I did before. I still love to do it. So girl, shout out to you for that all around.
Yeah. That's really amazing. And I love that you said that too. The best way to learn is practicum. So we can sit inside our classrooms and learn all these things from textbooks and people who came before us and everything. But it's not what you learn. I mean, it is what you learn in the classroom, but putting it into practice at that internship, at the practicum, in the real world is what actually helps you to put your hands to the test, put the things that you learn in that classroom to the test and see what your skills actually are from what you learned. So that's a really good what you just said, and I agree with what Monie said. That's an incredible faith. So I commend you for doing that too, because even though you might think, oh, whatever, I did it. Not everybody can say that they did that. Some people are still sitting at jobs and feeling miserable, or doing whatever they can and saying, I wish I could, I wish I can. But you never know if you could fly unless you just start flapping your wings and give it a try and jump. And you took that
jump off that branch. Get to flapping.
What are some pros and cons of being an artist or all that you do?
Pros and cons. Ugh. I'm trying to think. The cons is the hard part.
That's good.
The pros of being an artist. I think it's, I guess I don't really look at it that way. I think everyone's job is like, can be a great job as long as it's what you want to be doing. Like if I was an artist and I couldn't do anything else, or I didn't want to do, or like, what should I say? If I wanted to do something else and I chose to be an artist, then it would be bad, right?
Yes.
But seeing that this is something that I've kind of like been all of my life, and then have like kind of created, this like connected like career and system, like out of something that I already am, it just feels very natural. So I think that's like the biggest pro, is that like I don't really too much have anyone telling me what to do ever. It's just it's like me yelling at myself, like, you need to get to work. What are you doing? But I think that that's a pro. Like, you know, I mean, there's some times where I have like certain meetings or deadlines or things like that. But for the most part, I get to kind of create a life that like feels good. And then, yeah, I think the most stressful part of it or the con would just be like also the same thing. Like, I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm my boss. So like that becomes difficult because it takes so much like self-discipline and just you know, tenacity. You have to like there's a lot to learn. Like it's not just like I paint this thing and people love it. Like you have to really like be out there in the field, and most artists are introverts. And you have to like be out there in the field. You have to like really be out there meeting people and building your community and like just networking and all of the things. And so that's not always easy. Sometimes I just want to lay in the bed. Like I don't always want to go to these a million events and things like that. So I think the freedom that is the pro can also sometimes be the con, because like you do have to strategize and come up with everything on your own. You have to kind of plan out your entire life, the entire progression. Like, okay, this year's this, next year needs to be this, and make sure that you're growing and that you're continuing, because if not, then you're not making any money and then you have to go back.
That part, hello.
So
money.
So yeah, so I think it's the same thing. That's the pro and the con, depending on your perspective and how you manage it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how you reshaped my question. So my question that's typed down, right? It says, right, what are the pros and cons of being an artist? And the way I'm hearing you, the way that I believe you heard the question, which I absolutely love, I'll say, is what are the pros and cons of being Jazlyne? And I say I love it, right? Because, you know, when I was in high school, they asked us to pick a career that we would want to do if we didn't get paid for it. And in order to, you know, there's a meme going around that says every day I wake up and I want to call out of work or I want to quit or whatever. What's your motivation to go? Like you can quit. You can say F this job. You can say that your motivation should not be your bills, because some people will say F that job and then go to unemployment. But what makes you want to do what you're doing? Want to deliver the goods that you have to offer, whether that's being a teacher, a therapist, an artist, a molder, a tire maker, I don't know. What, like, you love that thing that you have to offer to people. So the pros are the cons, basically. But I define what I do and if I'm gonna, you know, give to it. So I love the spin that you gave to that. And then the last part that I want to say is it is definitely true of thinking, well, when doing art, you can't think about people's judgment. You just have to do it and deliver the piece. And whether that's visual art, whether that's poetry, whatever the case may be, my drawing and painting is okay. I don't care. Whoever likes it, likes it. If you don't. I used to think that way, but I used to think, who's gonna like this? It has to be perfect. But now I've learned to just give it. But my struggle is with reciting. So in my apartment, I'm like delivering it the way that I want to and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it that way because people are going to think. But this weekend, I felt like I delivered it the way that I've been practicing, the way that I wanted it to be, and didn't shy away. Like, even though my hands were shaking, I felt so proud after I left that stage that I couldn't sleep. I'm texting Simone like, yeah, I can't wait for the next poem, the next time to do this. Because it felt so good to just take out of my head and just deliver it the way that I know that poem needed to be delivered. So yes, taking away people's judgment and what they think. No, just deliver your art. The people that is meant to get the message will get it, and the people that aren't, then maybe they'll get the next one, maybe not, but that's okay. I have to know what my intention is. So I appreciate that part that you shared too.
It was the alignment for me, like just recognizing something that you've always enjoyed and loved to do. Because so many oftentimes we hear how people feel stuck and they want to move forward and do something else, but they don't know where to start. And sometimes I tell people, like, sometimes, what did you enjoy doing when you were a child? And then like try to revert it back to that. Try to, you know, invest in something that you used to love to do that you don't do anymore. Is it that crocheting? Is it you know, writing those short stories? You know, something to get you back into the mode of whatever space it was you were in when you felt happy. Like, what did you really, really enjoy that made your heart smile? So I'm just like, it makes me think of me when I was young and I used to get lost in books, like lost so much that when people would call me, I wouldn't hear them. It's a movie playing in my head right now, which you disturbing my peace. Or like just sitting and being with my family and watching movies and being like, wow, that's how that plays out. I want to do that one day. I want to be able to do that. And then knowing when I got to college, I thought I wanted to be a lawyer because I love Law and Order. Loved watching Law and Order. No, baby, it wasn't you wanted to be a lawyer. You wanted to make a show like Law and Order.
Exactly.
End up changing to mass media and been mass media since. So just recognizing like and fully embracing your purpose. Like I feel like it's so much power in that once you truly realize, why am I on this earth? What is it meant for me to do? And how can I put that out into the world?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about your art endeavors.
Yeah. So, where do I begin?
So many. Oh my gosh, you're so blessed.
Oh, blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings.
No, so all right, what angle? In terms of like things that I am currently working on, I suppose. I am about to start next week my fellowship at the Montclair Art Museum. So I will be with the Montclair Art Museum for a year. I'll be with them for a year from September to August. Somewhere around February, mid-February, I will be opening a solo show with them. So that is, that's amazing. Yeah. But also I gotta get like all this work done.
You got it, girl. You got it. That's very amazing.
Right?
I'm silently clapping like, yes.
Right, trying to keep interrupting. I'm like,
right. Come on.
Yes, no. It's such a huge blessing. It's a blessing to really be able to like give back to a lot of the institutions like that are right here homegrown. Like that for me is just like so I'm really thankful for that. I'll be teaching at Rowan University. And then I have a book illustration deal that's set to be released toward the end of this year. Yeah.
Yes, girl. You popping.
Come on.
There's lots of
I love it.
Yes, lots of things. In terms of
I'm sorry to cut you off, Jazlyne, but like people, not everyone can see. So you're making these faces, right? Because yes, it's a lot of work. You know, you're gonna be busy and everything, but I'm sure you're gonna be so full, so proud to see the end craft. Just think about the things that you've done before, all the things that you've accomplished, and it's a lot of work. It's not easy. You stand there, you're painting, your back hurt. You got to come up with a theme and all that other stuff. Like, but at the end of it, you send off a message to people. You've got another thing accomplished to check off, whether it was on your list or somebody threw it on your list. Your resume, your catalog is growing. And you're touching so many people's lives. So yes, it's a lot of work to do. But like you said before, you know, you just organize yourself, create that list, and know that you got it. You can do it.
Yes,
God gave it to you for a reason.
Come on. You about to preach or you gonna leave it at that? I'm just saying.
No, it's all very exciting. Again, it's like the pros are the cons, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't have it any other way.
I feel that.
I have to but you know, also I'm thankful. So yeah, there's that. And then always just like looking for new travel opportunities and things. I'm also, I don't think I mentioned, I'm also a programming director for a gallery that's in Camden, New Jersey. So with that, we are just starting up a residency program, both in New Jersey and also abroad. So I'll be doing a little bit of traveling with that for our like incoming resident artists. And then just traveling to other places and making connections with artists in other countries and things so that we can then begin to have sort of an artist exchange going where we have our artists going over there and their artists coming over here to just further connect the community abroad and the diaspora. So lots of things.
Yeah.
That's why
lots of great things. Lots of great
lots
things.
of amazing things. So
Right.
yeah, it's all really exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all really exciting and really rewarding. So
I'm excited for you.
Right?
And you're also saying things that's to come. So for y'all who are listening, we know Jazlyne in real life. Jazlyne has gone to other countries before, and you and I had lunch one time, and you told me that you actually painted in another country before. So this isn't a brand new rodeo for Jazlyne. She's been doing this and is continuing to do this. So I'm just like in awe of all that you've done, all that you're continuing to do. You didn't just, leave your job and then just stroke a canvas and then let it go. You're continuing to build, continuing to network, finishing one thing. Okay, what can I do next? I'm a director. I'm teaming up with this organization. I'm giving back to this community outside of America. I'm going back to my roots, back to Jersey, and giving back to my community. Some people say, forget where I come from and then go to other places, but you're giving back to where you come from and blossoming in other places as well, and teaching other people who are growing inside the world of arts as well. So your hands are in many pots. So nothing that you're saying is little. Nothing that you're saying is little. You're doing some big, amazing things. Your work is incredible. Keep doing the damn thing. I love watching it. I like your reels that you post. I love the way that you differentiate your art, make it unique to you. It's incredible. And I'm not just saying that. I mean that, like, for real, for real.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But see, now I want to know, because you got all these great things going on. How do you balance / juggle all of this and be a mom?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I would be doing any of this if I wasn't a mom. That's the thing. I remember when I had my first son. I'll start from when I graduated Clark. When I graduated from Clark Atlanta, I came back to New Jersey, immediately got an art studio, was creating art, and then after 1 year was like, I need to go get a job. And so I got a job teaching, children with disabilities. And I love that. It was what made me realize that I would like to be an art teacher. But again, there was that feeling of unfulfillment, like that something is not right. But I was doing that for years. And then once I had my first son, he was about 1 year old when I just had an epiphany one day. Like, I don't know if I was just like reflecting, daydreaming in La La Land or something. And something just came to me like, this child is watching me. He's watching me like come home, stressed out. Like, he's watching me like when I'm just exhausted and complaining about my job and this and that. He's watching. And it was then that I said, oh my gosh, like, I need to be like, that was the first moment where I was like, I need to be doing what I love to do so that he can know that he can do what he loves to do. And it was when he was 1 year old that I just was like, I'm just going to open a website. I'm going to start an art website. Didn't really know what I was doing. Didn't have all the knowledge that I have today. I was just like, I'm going to do this. And I have paintings that I already have made, and I'm just going to put them on my website. They were like super low price. And I was just like, let's see what happens. But at least I felt like I was doing something. I was doing what I loved. And then when I started to see people actually responding to that and making purchases and things like that, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And so really it was from there that were the beginning stages of where I am today. It was really my son who encouraged me. And then being able to kind of build on that like momentum and open the website, and then seeing how the community was receiving that, and then just continuing to kind of flesh it out from there. But literally, I couldn't do it without them. They inspire a lot of my pieces. A lot of my pieces are my children. So it's really a us thing. I used to take both of them really, and like plop them into the pack and play, give them a giant piece of paper, put them in their diaper, and we would be in there in the studio painting together. So it's really I think since they were so young, like it's just really been a way of life for us. Like they understand. I bring them with me sometimes when I go to my exhibition openings and things. I'm always very nervous. I have to have the talk with them, but but at the end of the day, this is our life. Like, and this is my life, and I've made it a point in the last few years that I'm only going places where I'm accepted. So if me and my children, or the fact that I'm a little bit neurodivergent or whatever it is, like if you have any issue, if there's any clash with like who I am as it relates to your institution, then that's just not the institution for me. And so I'm just really thankful that I've been received by so many people just in my authenticity, and all my quirkiness and awkwardness. And that people, are still, rolling with me and supporting me and supporting the work. And so that's kind of how I do it.
Oh, love that. It's just kind of, Yaya almost made me do it. That's why she
I'm
she
not your friend anymore.
I
don't want to. I hate Simone right now. I hate Simone right now because I wasn't expecting that question. That is not on our Rolodex, but it was a beautiful question to ask. It made me emotional because, like I said at the top of the episode, well, this section, we knew you back in Clark, Atlanta, so it's just beautiful to see how you've grown. And some people get defeated. Some people, I got children, I can't do this, I can't do that, but you use your children as the battery. And you saw how, the word is detrimental, but maybe not that extreme, but you come home stressed, you come home feeling this way, and not a lot of people understand how your energy is given off to not just the other adults, but the children in your life as well. And you're using your children as inspiration. Like, I need to get myself together. I need to be a role model. You spoke about being a role model for the students that you had, but you were driven by your child. And it's just a beautiful story to hear and beautiful to witness that. Yes, it brought me to tears thanks to Monie asking you that freaking question. But I'm just like,
the audience appreciate it.
Yeah, I never walked away from the camera before, but thank you.
Right.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm just like, wow, that's so beautiful to hear. So for the listeners, don't give up. Use your family, use yourself. Jazlyne, you shared, health conditions and everything like that. Some people can use that as an excuse to just say, okay, I'm just gonna do the bare minimum, but you're doing it all. You're not, letting. I'm a parent of 2. I have this going on. I have that going on. All these things, whatever. I can't travel. I can't quit my job and be an entrepreneur. I can't do all these different things and juggle them at one time. But look at you. Like, what did I say about Kamala? Yes, she can. Yes. Hey, wait. Yes, she can.
What you say? Find a way and make one.
She made it.
That's been the driving factor.
Yep. Let's go.
Don't wait for the invitation to the table. Build your own table.
And build your own damn come on.
No, Jazlyne made a portable table that has nice art and bedazzling stuff. It folds and she can put it on her back and travel to wherever she wants and sit at the table. And when people say she's not invited, she said, I don't want to be here anyway, and take her table wherever she wants to go. Period.
I brought this table with me.
I brought this table with me. It's my damn table. It's cuter than yours. It's cuter than yours.
I love it. Oh.
Wow.
I need a tissue. But I'm a hold it in.
Do you have any more special questions, Monie? I'm learning
that was
a lot.
the first one top of mind. That was the first thing that came to mind when we were finishing.
So you mentioned the website earlier, which is how you got started with everything. Do you still have that website running? If people are interested in your art, can they go to a website to check you out?
For sure. So that's just my name, JazlyneSabree.com. So yeah, you can go there and check it out. It's the same website forever. Made some transitions over the years, but it is still there and current with my current practice. So
yes. And then you said something about expositions. Am I saying that right?
Exhibitions.
Thank you, girl. Coming up, how can the people know, like, where can I find your art if I want to witness it in person?
Yeah, so I think really the best way is to stay tuned on Instagram, not even Facebook. I'd say Instagram is the best. LinkedIn, I'll post there usually anytime that there's a major accomplishment or I have an exhibition opening or any type of event. So keeping an eye on the Instagram is going to be the best way. And then also when you visit the website, signing up for my email list, because then I'll also send out, dates and upcoming events and like maybe things that I don't mention on social media. So it's kind of like an inside scoop situation.
Yes, inside scoop. Come on with the newsletter. Sign up.
Yes. Lastly, I would feel bad if I let us go without asking this question. So we may have people who may be aspiring artists or want to study and things like that. You mentioned your degree. It was an acronym that you gave. Can you let us know what the acronym stands for?
Yes, that's an MFA. So that's the Master's in Fine Art degree. Now, okay. I like to keep it real with the community. So an MFA is like if you seriously want to go the gamut, run the gamut of an art career, really, you're thinking about, working in education in the future, higher ed and things like that. There are many artists who do it without an MFA. I have an artist friend who made amazing strides in her art career without ever having any type of degree. And then at the end of in the middle of that, I should say, because she's still doing it, but in the middle of that, had a university, or art college reach out to her and say, hey, we want to offer you an honorary degree. So if you can take these classes and we're going to give you a degree and it's going to be a full scholarship and paid for. So,
right.
So I think the main thing is to build your art practice and learn all that you can before you make that commitment so that you can know that this is truly something that you want to do, that this truly aligns with you. Because again, it's a lot of work. You're going to be your own boss. Okay. I'm looking for an art manager. Listen, everyone I meet, I'm like, you want to tell me what to do? So there's just a lot of things to learn and consider because it's a big investment. So that's what I would say. Just prepare, know what you're kind of getting into, know exactly where you want to go, because the world is shifting. And one thing that I appreciate is that institutions are changing. The more that we have all of these talks about access and equity and, inclusion and all of these things, society's shifting and there may be things that you do need and things that you don't need, depending on what type of career you want to build. But that is a master's in fine arts degree. When you go there, you want to go to the top schools too. Just figure that in. Make sure you're going to the top school. Yeah, so schools are always looking for new students who really have the drive and ambition. So some people, play it small and they're like, oh, I'm gonna apply to this school that I feel like is easy to get in. No, apply to your Princetons, apply to your, your Yale, your Columbias, because you just really never know. You really do. I have so many friends from all of these different institutions that are just and you wouldn't know. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was great. I wasn't expecting all this knowledge. Right? And that's why you're a professor.
That's what I'm saying. She's been teaching and we've been sitting and listening.
Yep.
Not yet.
Shoot, speak it into existence.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What were you gonna say, Monie?
I was gonna say last thing, because we can't let you go without letting you drop the IG. Drop it for them so they can go ahead and give you a follow.
So, also my name, it's at Jazlyne Sabree. So yeah, that's where you're gonna find me. That's where you're gonna find me everywhere. Just my name.
We're gonna put it
Google
all
it, baby.
We're gonna put it all in the description, website, all of that. Make sure y'all subscribe to the newsletter, follow on the IG, all the good things. Period.
Yes. And leave comments. Let her know how you feel about her artwork too. You're so amazing, Jazlyne. Keep up the incredible work. Keep feeding the community with your language that's true to you, and I'm continuing to watch.
Yes. So happy for you. So glad we got to have you on. It's been a super duper pleasure. Amazing. Just everything. Just
chef's kiss. Thank you so much for being a guest on our podcast. Maybe we should have you on a poetry segment.
Yes. Oh, remember back in the day, we all
I wish I still had that poem.
I bet you I could find
Boys
it.
to Men. Boys to Men is
I
called.
have it. I have the poem. I do. I feel like I sent a picture of it. Yes.
I think you did. I'm gonna search my email, and you're gonna come back and record Sweet 223 with us.
And we're gonna read Boys to Men.
I think practice first, y'all.
I gotta go back to who I used to be.
Yes.
Who were we back then? What were we writing? What were we talking about? I think that was the first and only time I've done a 3-part piece.
Me too.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Well, until next time, then we got to make it happen.
Yes,
for sure.
Thank you, Jazlyne. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Hey, I didn't get to do that last episode. In today's dorm story segment, we are going to be discussing our art, a little show and tell, things that we created that we want to share with the world. All right, and the story behind it. So, you want me to go first, or would you like to go first, ma'am? You want to go first?
You can go first.
All right, I'll go first. So, I actually have two, but I'm gonna keep it short. I'm really proud of these. So you do have two? You got two too?
I mean, it's not different stories, it's one story.
All right. So,
actually, you can do both of yours and then I'll do mine, because mine is 2 different pictures, but one story.
All right. So, this is my first one. This is a painting that I did.
I like it. She like.
Yes, thank you. I usually, when I draw when I paint, I draw it out first with pencil, and I usually do freehand. I'm a freehander. I will look at something online and then try to the best of my ability to copy it. So I looked up a chick that had an afro.
A chick.
And I just outlined it, and Lord, I almost dropped it. And I just drew her to the best of my ability, and then I just painted. I took tape to create the lines and painted in between. But the reason why I really like this, I think this is one of the few pieces, probably the only one in my possession, actually, of something that I painted for myself. Me and my mother was having a sip and paint one day. She had these random extra canvases, and this is what I just decided to draw. I wanted, at the time, y'all know, my afro would be growing and glowing. At the time, I wanted something that represented me, but just in a different way. Why I chose the colors, I have no idea. Also realized after I drew it, I think this is a flag in the LGBTQ community, I believe. These specific colors.
Those colors.
Yeah. I can't remember which one, but after I was like, oh, those are the same colors from my painting. So unrelated, but that's just something that I realized. But it was just something that I did that I was having fun with, and it's something that I kind of want to do more often. I have a blank canvas that I'm going to be working on. I now have a new set of paint markers. I don't get as artistic as I used to, but it's something that I want to get back into because it's just that peace of mind for me. I love coloring. I really, really, really love coloring. I'm not really a drawer or a painter. I really love drawing, so I'm excited to. A color. So I really love the fact that I have these paint pens now, and I have a blank skateboard canvas that I'm going to work on. I haven't figured out what I want to put on it yet, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with it so I can add it to my wall behind me. Painted that too. All right, so second one is my canvas that I created of pictures of flowers that.
Oh, I didn't know that was from you.
This is from me.
That? Oh, cool.
I did buy it, but I know, but you took the picture.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so for those of you who have never heard this story before, so around the time my grandmother passed away, so I talked about my great grandmother in Suite 223. When my nana passed away in my my late 20s, this is what I started doing. I started taking pictures of flowers, going back outside, trying to get myself out of my state of sadness and depression, and just trying a way to just remind me that life is still a thing. I still have to get back out there. It might feel dark, but the sun is shining outside. I need to get outside. So what I started doing, I started taking pictures of flowers. It started with one flower that I saw through a gate one day. It looked like it was trapped, but something just attracted me to this lone white flower that I took a picture of. And then ever since then, every time I came across flowers, I would take a picture. And then this was one of my favorite ones that I actually printed and put on a canvas. And it just reminds me of the beauty of life and reminding me continuing to press forward. Even more so to the point that I actually started taking those pictures and putting them on greeting cards, something that I plan to get back to eventually. But I think it's just a beautiful way of reminding people, like, you know, growing through what you're going through, like being planted in darkness and allowing the water to help you grow. Like, we all come out of darkness, like it's not always going to remain the same. You know, it's just a part of the cycle of life and things that happen. I'm telling you, it's all starting to make sense. And I love being able to look at this and see like just the beauty within itself of being able to see the light beyond, you know, and then just the beauty within what flowers, the meaning that flowers have to me. So aside from it reminding me of my nana, just the beauty in flowers, I really love this. I want to print more. I just don't have any place to put them right now, but if anybody wants one, let me know. I'm not, I have a bunch of different flowers, but
yes, nice. Yeah. You should put your signature on it before you print anymore.
That is true. I should. But yeah, this is my personal one I just printed for myself.
Yes, to have it. Nice. I like that you showed two different types of art. One is painting and one is photography on canvas. So that's really, really nice. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. What you got for us, girl?
So, I like when I talk to other people about art because, like, I have this God-given talent to draw. I also write poetry, and I also do this, and I also, like, it's just cool. Like, as I'm verbalizing it, it's a reminder to myself of how talented and gifted I am. It's a gift to be able to have a natural talent. I say natural talent because to this day, I still never took a proper art class. I've been creating things in preschool, you know, kindergarten, all those things like that. But I didn't realize, and I will always doodle. Like, I can't really focus on a lesson in class so much. Whether I was in middle school, even in college, grad school, I look at my notes and it's doodles of Mario Kart on the side or something like that, or bubbling words and stuff. So it wasn't until middle school, one day when, you know, you learn different things. Like, we learn how to manipulate wires and make sculptures or make necklaces with nameplates and different things like that. And then we took a drawing class. And the thing, I don't remember anything else, but I remember the teacher saying, never move your eye out of the subject. So taking that skill, like, I won't ever take my hand and move it and help me anything like that. I still say I learned everything on my own. Actually, my mom told me that my lines and coloring should go the same stroke I do know that. I'll be scribbling all over the place. But I just like seeing my art grow. So the same way that you said, for all those poets out there, go back and look at what you wrote earlier. It's always fun, excuse me, for me to go look at my art and see how my art went from being flat to being boasted up. So I don't have a before. If you follow me on Instagram, or if you, my page is open, so if you scroll all the way down, you'll see some artwork on my page. Some of it is not always the first page or the first video. You have to scroll through. It may be like a peekaboo of something I drew or something. But I draw, I like to paint, I like to color, I like to doodle, I like to bubble words, all those things. Coloring things have been easiest for me because I guess that's our first introduction. We all get that Crayola box of crayons and all those different things. But for me, the black and white was always like a mystery. Like, how the heck did you manipulate a number 2 pencil? So I studied it on my own, and I Googled and I YouTube how do people use a pencil. But it's like, no, it's not a number 2 pencil. There's art pencils for being able to shade and things like that. And I give credit, I forget which person it was, but when I used to work in the jail, mates taught me how to shade and stuff like that. So for basic, and use a piece of tissue, I was able to create this little guy.
Oh wow, courage!
Yes.
The cowardly dog.
I was waiting for him because what happened was this guy was hanging out with, and he was like, "Why are you making that face?" And I saw his face. He was like, nervous. He was like Courage. So I was like, "Who the heck is Courage?" So I Googled Courage, and I was like, I want to try to draw it. So with me saying I'm gonna try to draw it, a lot of my drawings, paintings, it always come from saying, I wonder if I do this. And I wow myself with being able to do it. So I was very proud of Courage. Before this, I did the what's the name? Rugrats, the 2 girls, Susie and Angelica. I did them. That was different because I never really do more than 2 characters in the page, because then you have to get the scaling right. This character is bigger than this one. The head, the nose, like everything matters. Opposed to Courage, it's just Courage, right? Then the shading, what part is darker? Like if that's with a pencil, like how do I keep shading to get it right? So I wanted to show that one. That's from 2023. So recently, now I have a crush on somebody's son, right? So I asked him what his favorite character is, and he said Bugs. So I'm trying to find a picture of Bugs. I'm like, I can't get it. So I'm like, oh shoot, I like you. You know I like you. So I'm gonna do Bugs and Lola. It was so hard, y'all. It was hard to get Bugs right. One character. Lola, I had to keep erasing her because I'm like, dang, her head is bigger than his now. Or now her head is too small. Just trying to get it right. So with Courage and other cartoons, maybe it takes like Courage took a day. Not a whole day, but just like a few hours. And Angelica and Susie maybe 2 days. This one took me 3 days, but 4 days to feel satisfied with it. And I'm really proud of how it looks. This is my latest drawing.
Yes, it looks really good.
Yeah. And this is the first time I actually told a person, like, I used that person, oh, what character do you like? And I actually showed it to the person, and he was like, oh, it looks like me holding you. I was like, yes. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying seeing the growth of my art, even within these 2 pictures. This one was August 2024 that you saw with Bugs, and then Courage was 2023. And maybe you may not be able to tell the difference, but I can tell the difference of the growth that I was able to have within a few months. So what I want to do is once a month, sketch a cartoon. So don't be nervous if I see someone with me a cartoon. I can't draw humans to save my life. If I try to draw humans, it doesn't look like a cartoon. So I'm a cartoonist. And I have come up with one of my own cartoons before. It was Imani, but I didn't finish it. So one goal that I have for myself is to draw other cartoons, maybe once a month, but then also try to figure out my own cartoon, create my own image myself. But yeah, I love art, all forms of art. I'm here for it.
Yes, absolutely. Same for me. I'm like, when I say I have over 100 pictures of flowers, I literally, I lost count. I've lost count on the amount that I have, but I really want to do something with them. Aside from what I said with the cards, I really want to do something with the pictures of all these flowers that I have. So I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna do something. But I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it. I'm glad we had this conversation because I literally, I mean, even though the flower picture sits on my wall, and then the Afro girl, she's on the side of my bed. These are just things that I didn't know that's there, but I don't think about like, hey, this is something that I created. This is something that reminds me of this. Like I'll always remember this Afro girl being, I drew this sipping and painting with my mom. We both drew something by hand, you know, or drew and painted something by hand. So, but I got to get better at putting dates on things. Terrible. What year did this flower or this? Luckily, my phone will tell me the year and the time I took the picture of the flower. But as far as this, I just know it was probably 2020. That's all I know. I have no idea. But it was right before I moved to. It was before I moved to New York. That's all I know.
You sound like me with my poems when I was like, I don't know how old I was or what year this was or anything. But my drawings, if it's on a canvas, my signature is always on the front. Just like, it's mine, that's mine. But I put the date on the back of the canvas, and then my drawings, now I put it on a sketch. Like if it's a sketch, I'll put it on there too, because I realize that I'll be like, when did I do this? Because I want to know my growth. I want to see the timeline of how things are going with my art form. And then one fun thing too that I've been doing is hiding my signature. I didn't do it in those two, but when I did the turtle, someone was like, "Oh, this is a dope turtle. You did this?" And I said, "Yeah, look a little closer. So you see the veins? Those aren't veins." And it was like, "Oh, that's dope. That's your signature." Yeah, my signature's all in it. You ain't. I did. So yeah, just creativity in different forms is so fantastic. Even what Jazlyne said in the calf segment, this chair is art. That building is art. Everything that we do is a form of art. So there's no limit on it.
Absolutely. I'm like, I do it with my coloring. Like I color over time because it's not something I do every day. So I put the date of when I colored a specific thing, and I sign my signature on my coloring pages.
Yeah.
But I don't do it for the art that I print out or my painting. But in my coloring books, it's signature and dates all over the place. But yes, gotta get better. Got to get better.
Yes. But this was fun.
Yes, absolutely. Seeing the growth in the art, different types of art. We had sketching, we had painting, and photography. Look at that. And with that, now we are going to head into the announcement segment. Let's go. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. It's time for announcements. Best song on the show. Hey, we closing out the show. Hey, I gotta look back and figure out when I actually started singing. I'm gonna go back to season 1 or 2. It's one of those, and figure out so I can post this.
I miss the music. I need this platform to figure it out. Like I miss hearing the jingles that you made. They were so good, so good. Great for transition.
Right, exactly. With this new platform, haven't really figured out how to connect the two. But hey, you know what? They growing and glowing too, and things have improved. So I can only imagine what's gonna happen over time. The next few months. By the time we get into season 6,
yes,
it's gonna be a extra hit. All right.
So speaking of growing and glowing, we want to give a special thank you, special shout out to our friend from the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, from the blessed state of New Jersey, Jazlyne Sabree. She is so dope, so great.
Yes.
And speaking of growth in our topic, seeing growth when she drew in college, the poetry that she shared, the songs that she used to sing and come up with, all of that, like seeing her blossom into the woman that she is today, I am like, my hand is up, like, oh girl, I try to say this, but I'm proud of the growth, proud to see you where you are, keep doing the damn thing, flourishing, all of that. I just love to see it. So thank you so much for taking time to be on our podcast. I know we came up with the question to have on our podcast, but you gave us I feel like it's Justin again, like you gave us way more than we bargained for. Like,
right, gave us life, girl. Gave us
Yes.
life. Brought up things that I wasn't even expecting to talk
Didn't I
about, but
cry?
overall, we teared up. It started.
Yes.
The tears started flowing. You know what I'm saying? Because the conversation was so beautiful, and also realizing from the conversation that we had of just seeing, like as you said, the growth over time. It was such a wonderful segment. Such a wonderful segment. If y'all didn't tune in, y'all need to go back because I don't know how you made it to the announcement segment and skipped over hot topics.
Yes,
What's
it
wrong
was
with
a
you?
hot
Go
topic.
back. And with our September post of the month, we are asking, what is one travel related goal you'd like to achieve in the next year? Write it down. Where'd you like to go? When? How you gonna make it happen? Do you need to save? Do you need to figure out a place? Is it for your birthday? Is it for Christmas? Is it with your family? Is it with your friends? Is it solo? What you want to do when you want to do it? Write it down. Manifest it. All right.
Yes.
This is why we have our prompts of the month to help you figure out what it is that you want to do. You know, writing things down help bring things into reality. So figure out what it is, share with us on our Instagram page, find the post where it says September prompt of the month, and put it in the comments. Period.
Yes. I have an interruption. So a lot of times when people ask me, what's your podcast about? One thing that I always say is we don't do current events. We don't talk about what's going on globally because one thing, a lot of it isn't our forte, and two, other podcasts do that, and three, we record bi-weekly, so there's no way that we can keep up with things that's going on. But I just did this dance, and if you don't know what it is, unless you're watching, but that just took me back to college, which reminded me that by the time you hear this episode, in early September, we lost a really, really good, dope artist that meant a lot to us while we were in college. So I just wanted to say, like, dang, like, it's just going fast, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a natural loss, whether it's some killings, whatever, things that's happening. We also lost Fat Man Scoop. Like, people are passing away, so those are two phenomenal artists. So Rich Quan, Fat Man Scoop. It's probably other people that I don't even know about that's passing away. So put your art out there. Appreciate people's art. Appreciate your own art and talent, because Fat Man Scoop, like, I know him. I knew him from Sierra, right? But I'm hearing throwbacks of his music from other. I didn't even know he was like, if you got $100 bill, put your hands up.
You didn't
I know that was like just so like the way that people's music, art, everything touches the world. Even Cloud sent me this post yesterday to listen to, and I'm like, I know he's delivering a poetry, but I feel like it's a message. Like, there's something in there that's teaching us a valuable lesson to not stick to the basics and to allow yourself to grow and fly. So if that, like, those poems, those songs, whatever it is, touches the people, even if it's to get you hype or it relates to your life, it's something to get you out of like whatever mood, put you in a happy mood for a moment. So R.I.P. to Fat Man Scoop, R.I.P. to Rich Homie Quan. You were such a big thing for us in Atlanta in school. Hit the Quan. I know that's your song. That we was hitting that Quan. We was walking up, just doing all of this. So shout out to them. That's not on the announcement, but me doing that dance that we used to do in college reminded me of that, and I couldn't not say anything about that.
Absolutely. Let it be known. So for those of you that know that we don't usually do current events, but if you would like to suggest, some things that we should talk about, let us know by following us on social media and subscribing to our podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can stream a podcast, we're most likely there. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell your auntie and your cousin. Me and you, your father and your cousin too. Tell everybody. They need to be tuned in. And your boo. We also on YouTube, okay?
Yeah.
LoveLoudd LLC. Girl, don't judge me. LoveLoudd LLC. All right? Girl, I told you. It's been a long week and my brain is partially not here, but I figured it out.
So while you are on those platforms, you can also leave a review for us. Tell us what you think of our podcast. And yeah, also on our website, which is LoveLoudd.com. It's LoveLoudd.com. LOUDD.com, LoveLoudd.com. You can purchase. Oh, jeez, I said purchase.
See, you messing up too.
Child, nap time. You can purchase our poetry books, our self-help journals. If you are in a calm and collected space and you need an outlet for yourself, we have a journal for you. It's about to get, girl, did you see,
the season's coming. The season's coming. It's changing.
Did you see Keys asking on her Instagram, did y'all change your closets over yet because it's getting cold?
I did.
Yes, so if you're getting cold, you need a LoveLoudd hoodie, sweatshirt, t-shirt, all those things.
About that time.
Pull up to our website and order now. We got drop shipping, so
not
order
even gonna
up.
hold you. I prepared myself over the summer. When I was cleaning out and moving things around, I already packed my sweaters on top in one of my bins and I moved it around because I'm like, all this other stuff about to go under the bed.
Yep. Yep.
I'm ready. Hoodies on deck. Hoodies on deck.
It's getting nippy out there, okay?
Love me a hoodie and some Timbs. Let's go.
Yes. So I think that's it for our announcement segment. I really, really love this episode. This was really great.
Beautiful.
Thank you again, Jazlyne. Thank you to all of our guests that we've had on our podcast thus far. It's been a pleasure recording with you all. This isn't our last episode, so don't.
We got 2 left.
Yeah, we got some left. I'm just incredibly thankful right now. So thank you all for listening to our podcast episode.
And with that being said, y'all will hear from us again in 2 weeks.
But
until then, stay proud, like Penny.
That's what I always think of when we check out. See ya.
Bye.